Hello, and welcome back to Shining Force Rebellion. It's been a long road, but believe it or not, we actually have quite a bit more to go. There is a lot of game in this game. Idealistic dogma. Those are words you don't normally hear in Shining Force. I kinda like the different direction that they take with this game sometime. Shame about the music, though. Is this gonna be a cutscene battle? Because this is starting to look like it's a cutscene battle. Oh, okay. Brian sometimes has some luck with these cutscene attacks, but not this time, I guess. But I guess the bad guy considered it close enough. So, some bad guys just show up and here we go. Now, there's nothing saying that we can't leave one enemy alive and get rid of all the rest, because, as always, we do need the experience. And it's a little tricky to decide which one we're gonna let go. The fixes, which is to say the healers, we obviously want to get rid of them. Probably same for the wizards. As for my own battle setup, it's pretty much the way it usually is. We don't want Brian to do all the heavy lifting, as tempting as that sometimes is. And I don't think that there's really anything fancy I can do on this map. That's a pretty defining choke point at the top of the map right there. But I think that we can do some alluring on the sides at least. It's always been kind of weird to me to see monsters that don't have spears or bows attack from an extra tile away. But that's this game for you. They did some different things. In particular, and I know I've said this before, but I think that some of the character designs are even more bizarre than the original Shining Force, and I commend the game for that, even if the art could stand to be a little bit better. As much as I dislike overextending, I think it would be a good idea to move the melee up a few tiles. Man, remember when we could kill pretty much all the enemies in one hit? I miss those days. Sort of. I mean, it's probably best that that doesn't happen forever, but still. I also kind of appreciate the way enemies can dogpile you in this game. This is pretty rare in Shining Force CD and Shining Force 2. So, I'm kind of glad they brought that back. I recall some pretty sticky situations in Shining Force 1 because the enemy actually used formations and could gang up on one of your people. Well, okay, maybe it would be more threatening if they did more than one damage. Well, melee tanks, that's how it is, I guess. That's a Shining Force thing that we've seen for a long time. I think this might be a little bit overkill, but I do have MP to spare. I'd much prefer using an area of effect heal on several characters. What can you do? If I remember correctly, ice spells are not amazing single target damage. That being said, our healing is kinda limited, so I do have to kinda work around it. Especially at this late phase of the game. I am so glad that they added magic resistance to our friendly casters, though. I missed that a lot in the more mainstream Shining Force games. That looks like an endgame spell right there, and to be fair, it does kind of have appropriate damage for one. Although, I forget if that guy just has low magic defense, or if the fire spell is stronger, or whatever. It's important to actually attack the wizard. It's generally a good idea. And that's another thing that hasn't changed. Enemy wizards just kinda running forward so you can hit them whenever you feel like it. I think that for this battle I shouldn't worry quite so much about distributing experience. I'll have plenty of opportunities later to do that. Right now I don't have a whole lot of control over the enemy, and of course there's that boss to deal with, so I want to kind of conserve resources and not lose too much health setting up kills. It's really nice to have an agile character who can snipe wizards like that, though. I think that's one of the things I like the best about. Although I don't think that tonfas are usually used for that. They're more like, geez, I've never ever heard of them being used seriously as something other than in movies or video games. They look pretty cool, though. Oh, well, never mind then. I was afraid that the boss would be really powerful, but our tank power is too strong. That means we'll have some time to get a couple of extra kills before we dogpile the boss. It doesn't matter how often I use that character. That Wyvern Rider attack animation is just so cool. I'm a little surprised that no lawsuits came out of it, considering that Fire Emblem came up with the Wyvern Rider thing first, and that was a fairly blatant reuse of the idea. Well, after getting rid of a couple more of the normal enemies, I think it's just about time to bust out some more special moves. And as for the characters sort of saying the magic words when they cast spells, I've seen that sort of thing before in let's see, Tearing Saga. That was one of Kaga's projects after he left the Fire Emblem project. So it's not exactly without precedent. Not quite sure how to deal with that. Let's take a look at the positioning. I think I can sneak around to their back line and snap the fix now. That set me back a fair amount, though. I will say that healers in this game tend to be a lot more active about healing than in the Shining Force games we've played, so credit to the programmers for that one. I'm trying to figure out who I should move first in the next turn. I'm thinking I should probably just snipe that healer as soon as I can. But on the other hand, I do have a couple of backliners who could be attacked soon, so it seems a little tricky to me. I don't know. And it seems a little bit early to burn so much MP on healing, but... Also, I appreciate how this game gives you what's effectively Aura 4 at some place other than the very end of the game, and you don't even especially have to grind to get it. But I'm gonna have to win pretty swiftly after this, because that's pretty much all of my recovery right there. Oh, I actually forgot how tanky Kain was. I thought that the lizard guy was the tankiest of them all, but it has been a while since I've checked their stats and I probably missed the effects of a few level ups. Well, it turns out that the enemy kind of moved out of the way, so no special flanking maneuver is necessary here. That makes things easier. Ooh, that is a nice chunk of experience for Dan. He kind of needs it too. I think he's 3 levels behind everyone? Maybe, yeah, around there. Huh. And that just about sets things up for me to clear out the rest of the battlefield. I'm really glad that I was able to get that chunk of experience for Dan, though. He's been... well, his movement isn't the best, so he's been kind of lagging behind. Yeah, it doesn't matter I'm sorry, it doesn't matter what point in the game you're in, that wave attack always deals huge chunks of damage. And you get it from the start, and I don't think it even really changes that much. Except that early on you can't use it a whole lot because he starts with barely any MP, but, well, never stops being good. In fact, I should probably spam that thing more. As long as he doesn't steal all the kills, that is. Now, I've been mostly sticking with the light path for this playthrough, but I was thinking of maybe really going through and showing all of the story paths in this game, because I do enjoy it a lot, and I appreciate all of the support that I've gotten from the viewers. Well, let me know if you want to go that far. That does mean that I'll be playing nothing but Shining Force Rebellion for at least the next few months, so, well, that wasn't very smart of me. I forgot that thing resists thunder. Anyway, if you want to see the neutral and evil paths, please let me know. I'd be happy to do so. Although, at some point I'll probably just have to show the short versions of all of the battles, because you've already seen plenty of how the combat works here and what the flow generally is, so... And don't worry, it is a little time-consuming to edit the videos like that, but I am used to it by now. I just thought that since this was a fairly important boss confrontation, it would be appropriate to show the whole thing. Now, I realize this is kind of gutsy because, oh wait, I was actually looking at the wrong life bar. Yeesh. Well, that's that. I would have liked to finish off a couple more enemies first, just to get that bit of extra experience, but since this actually is a fairly high-risk game, and losing a character has some pretty strong consequences, it's not permadeath, but it is still annoying to deal with. I don't really see a problem with ending the map right there. Especially since I couldn't really risk another rescue mission. I wanted to get my I guess you could call it my karma meter back up a bit more. I mean, while I do appreciate the end of map experience mechanic, it does make the healers fall behind quite a bit less. I think a lot of the tactical decisions are made by who to feed experience to and how. That being said, what we have right now is a lot less annoying, so I have no problem accepting it. I don't know about that one. I mean, sometimes I wonder if they went against the more I shouldn't say wholesome, but the more cartoonish style of Shining Force a little bit too hard, maybe. They don't always have to talk about sending each other to hell or whatever. I mean, I don't know, okay, actually, I take that back. One thing I do know is that it doesn't really matter what the overall feel of a game is. Generally, when a bad guy is described as immortal or unbeatable, you're pretty much guaranteed to destroy them by the end of the game. Saying that is pretty much a death sentence for whoever you're talking about. I don't know. I think there are limits to what you can justify with a tragic story. But anyway, that is the end of this particular chapter. And there was actually a bit less walking than I remembered in this map. Especially since some of the earlier chapters have a lot more points of interest to them. Well, I believe that is it for now. We will be back to show you the, how shall I say, political consequences of what we did. Well, I should say more like strategic consequences. Yep, we got an ultimate weapon, alright. Of course we do. Well, thanks for watching this episode of Shining Force Rebellion. Later.